Our friends at Phoenix EOD sent me this Glossome Wax to test out, and I'm pretty excited to see what kind of performance it has. Is it going to be very glossy? Is it pretty? Is it durable? And just how easy is it to install? We'll also look to see if it has UV protection. Phoenix EOD claims this product is very easy to use, it produces intense gloss, and it's supposed to be very durable and very hydrophobic. Let's kick things off with the application testing, and in the 2.0 version of my test suite, the only change is that it's this center square now. The scoring is going to be the same. It's going to range from a -10 to a +10. The Glossome Wax has really basic instructions. It's the same as any other liquid wax. They say to do circular motion, so that's what we're doing here. I'm told it needs 5 minutes to haze, and then we'll wipe it up. After 5 minutes, let's wipe this thing up and see how easy it is to use. Wow, that is very easy to remove. Very, very easy. We could do the visual appeal assessment, and this is a very subjective test. It's just based on my experience. In the 2.0 version of my test suite, the only change is going to be the introduction of a second black panel that we're going to create a composite score with. We're going to still grade this between -10 and +10 in steps of 5. The bare paint's on the left and the product's on the right. And that line, it is pretty clear to me. And what I can tell is that where the product is, things look much deeper and glossier. It makes it feel kind of warmer and clearer where we have the product. Here's another good angle. There's the line right there. Left is the product, right is the bare paint. I'm gonna give it a 10. I think that's a great look for the red paint. Here's the black test panel, and you can see we have the Phoenix over here, and it is looking really, really good. I can see a very clear line on that. And it's just looking outstanding on that black paint. And we have another product on the left, and that product is not nearly as deep. There's kind of a blank line in between them where I had tape. But on the right, where you have the Phoenix, it's just so pretty and deep. On the black, I have to give it a 10. It's doing a fantastic job. I'm very impressed. Because the product scored a 10 on the red and the black paint, the composite score average is gonna be 10. In the 2.0 version of my test suite, gloss testing is now done on the panel. It's not done on the piece of glass that I had. I heard some of you guys out. There were some complaints saying that maybe it's different because it's glass and not clear coat and not paint. The scoring is going to remain the same, except now we'll be averaging 10 points instead of 5, and that's just to eliminate some of the variance in the paint. Interestingly, this paint is also 94 gloss units on average when I've polished it up. To make sure the machine is calibrated, we want to see 104 on the display, and we do, and that's at 20 degrees. And then we'll take 10 readings. We'll do 5 in the front and 5 in the back. So we've got 90.2. Let's move that over. It is pretty slippery. 91.7, 89.9, 93.7 over here right in the middle. 93.5, I saw it at 0.5 over there. 90.6, 88.8, 90.6 again, 89.4, and looks like we got 89.7 over there. We got 908.1. We average it by dividing by 10, so the result's gonna be 90.8 rounded down. We're gonna give it a -3.2 score on the gloss, but the product looks very pretty. And this is what I've been saying for a while. Prettiness and gloss are not necessarily synonymous, but your eye can start to tell a loss of shine, which is all that gloss is just reflected light. The more you lose, the duller the paint starts to look. Losing 3.2 is not much. I need just 1 second of your time to tell you that I have Amazon affiliate links down below in the description to the product we're testing today, as well as some of the tools and production gear used to make this video. Clicking through and purchasing anything at all on Amazon site-wide will yield a small commission for me, which helps me run this channel and make videos like the one you're seeing today. If you're enjoying the video, remember to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell to get notifications, and most of all, I'd love to hear from you down below in the comments. Now it's time to test the slickness of the Phoenix EOD, and I've applied it on this side of the panel. In my 2.0 test suite, everything's staying the same math-wise. If you want to learn more about the math and how we calculate everything, there will be a video in your top corner. Essentially, we're calculating the static coefficient of friction of the treated surface. Let's take 5 measurements and average them out. 140 grams. 140 grams again. 130 grams. 140 grams again. And the 5th final test, 150 grams. To figure out our score, we're gonna divide the 700 by 5 to average it, and on average, we got 140 grams as the gram force needed to get the block moving. The block itself weighs 1,040 grams, so we're gonna divide 140 by 1040, and we get a 0.13 rounded down static coefficient of friction. The bare paint in this test is actually the same as in our prior test. It's about a 0.38. So we'll take a 0.38 and we're gonna move 0.14 out of it, and we get a 2.4 delta. The bigger delta is better. Now we multiply that by our score factor of 30, and we see that the Phoenix EOD is gonna score 7.2 points. That's a solid score. That's a solidly slick product. Very good. This machine does UV weathering. So there are 2 bulbs inside here that are UVA 340 bulbs. They simulate outdoor UV in direct sunlight. And that means this machine can simulate months or even years of UV exposure. This counter is going to read out the running time. If we kick both lights off and kick on the timer now runs. So we're gonna run for a full day. We have multiple products being tested here, including the one we're looking at today. Those products themselves have been applied to these microscopy slides. I have these neat little plastic slides that I've painted in orange paint. Here you see one that's labeled control, and it has a piece of glass over it with nothing on it. That is a slide that has not been treated with anything, no clear coat, nothing like that. We also have this one labeled dark. This is another control that's gonna go in a dark box. This slide here has been clear coated, and it's also gonna go in a dark box. Over here, we have a clear coated slide with no glass on top of it. So the idea here is we'll be able to tell what difference, if any, these products make. All we gotta do now is wait. It's been 24 hours. The machine shut itself off when the counter reached the limit. I'm gonna try not to mess all this up. Here are our 2 dark samples. That's the clear coated one. That's the uncoated one. As you can see, I've moved the samples on top of their respective slides so we can get a better idea of what they look like. And the sample that says dark, just to remind you, is the one that didn't see any UV exposure. And as you can see, it's so much brighter. It still has that bright orange pigment compared to everything else. This is our control that had no glass over it. And again, it's all the exact same thing. Now we have our control clear-coated slide that sat in the dark, and our clear-coated control slide that did not sit in the dark, that got exposed to UV. And as you can see, even the clear coat could not beat the UV. This machine is capable of years of aging. It's a very powerful machine. Now let's look at today's product. When we look at the Phoenix EOD Glossome compared to our dark sample that never experienced UV, we can see just how much pigment was lost. When we set it up against the control that also got burned by the UV lights, we see that they're the same. And when comparing it to the clear-coated slide, we could see more pigment was lost, even though the clear coat did not provide full protection from UV. When we look at all the samples as a group, we can really tell they all look the same. The controls look the same as all the ones protected by that slide in our test. The only difference is the clear coat. The clear coat compared to the clear coat that did not get blasted by UV was able to retain a lot more of the color. What these products really do is not directly block UV. What they do is help protect your clear coat. They provide a layer that can help keep water off the clear coat. They keep other dirt and grime off the clear coat. Water and some of those other things can be more effective when UV is on them as an agent to damage surfaces. So by keeping water off, it has that UV protective quality. However, they themselves are not blocking UV. They're just keeping stuff off your clear coat. We're gonna be using this elcometer in order to do the durability testing. Essentially, it is a mechanized machine that's gonna sweep back and forth, and it's gonna provide lubrication as it goes. It has a counter, it has a way of controlling the RPMs, and it's able to deliver a more consistent method of testing durability. The scoring is going to change a little, and I'll post something in your screen here to show you what it looks like, but essentially we're gonna do 10 passes, 20 passes, 50 passes, 100 passes, 300 passes, and 1,000 passes. If something can break 1,000 passes, it will be considered exceptional. Let's take a look at the hydrophobicity of the Phoenix Glossome. It's right over here. That's pretty great hydrophobicity on the Glossome. To do our testing, we're gonna place the plate right here, and we're gonna give it some lubricity. This is just the Adams shampoo we've used before. I just wanna pre-lube a little bit here. We've got the water we're gonna use and more of the Adams shampoo, and I'm gonna dump 50 milliliters into the water, and that's gonna be our base solution that we're gonna run the test with. For this test, I'm using these cool little applicator sponges. It's nice because I can get packs of them, and they're kind of a consistent way to test. We'll use the red sides, and we'll pre-lube these really good. Now we can install these little retainers. We're gonna give our shampoo solution a good mix until it's all dissolved. Put these into the bottle of shampoo. And we can attach our sponges, which we've already pre-lubed. Tighten things down. We're ready to do our first 10 washes and see if the products make it through that. And you see we're going right at 30 RPM under load when the sponges are in. It's creating friction. We're 10 washes in. Let's see if our product still works. Let's first rinse. Let's take a look at the Phoenix Glossome and see if it's still working compared to the Control 10N. You can see that the Control and the Glossome in the contact patch where the sponge was going look the same. So this is the Control stripe in the middle, and this is the contact patch, and 10N already wore it out. So unfortunately, the Phoenix Glossome is gonna have to get a 0 or a minimal durability score. Having put the product through its paces, let's talk a little about the performance and whether or not I'd recommend the product. I like to start with the good stuff, and I think this product is incredibly easy to use. I also think it is very pretty. I really liked how it looked. I think if you're going for a show car shine, you really care a lot about the visual appeal, this is indeed Glossome. We did see it lose some gloss, but it wasn't the end of the world. The products are not gonna be able to easily bring up gloss on a highly polished panel. If you have a dull panel, yeah, they'll probably bring them up. I also thought the slickness was pretty good. The product does claim to have UV protection. It makes it like really clear on the bottle when I read it. I didn't find that to be the case in my testing. I think the only real strong negative of this product is durability. It couldn't even complete 10 washes in my elcometer. And that's a little disappointing. I was reading on the bottle that it says it has 9 months of protection. Maybe on a car that you keep in the garage and you only wash a few times a year because you drive it on sunny days. I think this product is great for a show car if you want that beautiful pop, but I would not necessarily put it on a daily unless you like applying waxes pretty frequently. And that being said, this product is such a joy to apply. I could see someone wanting to do it. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and if you're new to the channel, I do a mix of car detailing and detailing testing videos, as well as car modifications. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button, rung the bell to get notifications, and most of all, I would love to talk to you down below in the comments. For now, I'm gonna go get some rest, and I hope to see you again really soon.